And Indiana has done it. Their first ever Commissioner's Cup championship, knocking off the Minnesota Lynx. This is Howard setting up McDonald, knocking down the tray. Finds a cutting McDonald, easy deuce.
What an unforgettable night for the Indiana Fever. In a stunning upset, they claimed their first ever Commissioner's Cup championship, toppling the mighty Minnesota Lynx in a game that will be remembered as a defining moment in franchise history. This wasn't just a win, it was a defiant statement against overwhelming odds. Without their superstar sophomore Caitlin Clark, sidelined for her third straight game with a nagging groin injury, and abandoned by veteran Dwana, who shockingly quit the team after just 9 games, the Fever faced a Minnesota Lynx squad that seemed invincible. Led by MVP frontrunner Natasha and boasting a 14-win record, the Lynx were the defending champions, playing on their home court at the Target Center with a raucous, sold-out crowd behind them. Las Vegas odds makers had the Lynx favored by a staggering 14 points, and analysts across the basketball world had already written off the Fever, predicting a blowout. But the Fever, fueled by heart, grit, and an unshakable belief in themselves, rewrote the script in a 74-59 rout that left the WNBA stunned. The Fever's journey to this moment was anything but easy. The 2025 season had been a roller coaster, with the team leaning heavily on Clark's electrifying play. As the league's leading scorer and assist machine, Clark was the engine of Indiana's fast-paced, high-octane offense. Her ability to break down defenses with her pinpoint passing and long-range shooting had packed arenas nationwide, turning the Fever into must-watch basketball. But her groin injury, which had lingered longer than anyone hoped, forced her to the sidelines for the Commissioner's Cup final. Coach Stephanie White, in her first year leading this young roster, emphasized caution with Clark's recovery. "She's making progress, but we're focused on her long-term health," White said during pregame. "We want her confident, not just feeling good, and we're not risking setbacks." Clark's absence left a gaping hole, not just in scoring, but in leadership and offensive organization. The challenges didn't stop there. Dearest Dantas, another key piece of the rotation, was unavailable, competing thousands of miles away in the FIBA Americas tournament. Then came the bombshell of Dwana Bonner's departure. Signed in the offseason to bring veteran leadership, Bonner's abrupt exit after being benched was a gut punch. "She was brought in for leadership," one analyst remarked. But when things didn't go her way, she refused to show up, leaving her teammates high and dry. Bonner's max contract made her decision to quit even more jarring, sending a message to the young Fever roster that couldn't have been more disheartening.
Caitlin and her status,
with their
how did she look? How did she feel today during shoot-around? And is she making progress and getting closer to playing?
She's making progress. You know, I think, again, top of mind, I think I told you this afternoon, is just long-term. You know, making sure that we don't have any setbacks. You know, making progress and feeling good are two different things, and we want to make sure that she feels good. We want to make sure that she's confident. We want to make sure that we're not putting her in a position to have any setbacks, and that's the priority right now. They look pretty flawless, you know, in the way that they're playing. I don't know if different is the word as much as they look even more connected. You know, they're a team that was connected a year ago, but really the nuance of having each other's back on the defensive end, of knowing where your teammate's going to be, you know, discipline to coverages, the connectivity that they have on the offensive end of the floor. I mean, the way that they move with and without the ball, the way that the ball moves makes it really tough to cover. You know, I often say that offense is like a dance, and they are flowing, man. They are making music, and there's no doubt about it. So we have to try to be disruptive, and we have to try to take them out of that rhythm.
With their roster in tatters and facing the WNBA's most dominant team, the Fever were set up to fail spectacularly. The Minnesota Lynx were a juggernaut. Their 14-win record made them the league's best team, and their home court at Target Center was a fortress. Napheesa Collier, a leading MVP candidate, was a matchup nightmare, averaging a double-double and commanding the paint. The Lynx's offense was a symphony of movement, with crisp ball sharing and seamless off-ball cuts that analysts compared to a dance. Their defense was equally formidable, with disciplined coverages and a knack for forcing opponents into rushed, contested shots.
Coaches,
ESPN's pregame analysis gushed over their connectivity, with one commentator noting, "The Lynx are flowing, making music on both ends." Indiana will have to be disruptive to have any chance. The betting line reflected the disparity, a 14-point spread in Minnesota's favor. Social media buzzed with predictions of a rout, with some analysts calling the game a mismatch and questioning whether the Fever even belonged in the final. The Fever's recent form only fueled the skepticism. Without Clark, they had stumbled, dropping 3 of their last 5 games, often squandering double-digit leads. Their offense, once a free-flowing machine, had slowed to a crawl. Ball movement stagnated, and players resorted to hero ball, forcing contested shots instead of trusting their teammates. Aliyah Boston, one of the team's most potent weapons, was visibly frustrated, often establishing position in the paint only to watch guards chuck up perimeter shots. "We haven't had consistency in our lineup," White admitted pregame.
Coach, this is your first season with this batch of players, and so I'm just wondering if the Commissioner's Cup is just a stepping stone for greater things to come.
Well, I hope so. But at the same time, we want to take care of business now, right? We want to win a cup. So we're not looking at it necessarily as a stepping stone. We're looking at it as an opportunity to win. And then we're looking at it, as coaches, as an opportunity to continue to stack days. We haven't had a lot of consistency in our lineup. And so we haven't really built that camaraderie and connectedness that we need in order for us to be successful. But we can take another step towards growth, another step towards consistency on the floor, in execution, in energy level. We're playing the best team in the league right now, and we've got to come out and we got to play our A game.
What are some of the keys that you see as to how exactly you're going to do that, or what you guys need to do to approach the game successfully?
Yeah, I think we've got to be disruptive. We've got to make sure that we play with a level of physicality that doesn't allow them to just pass the ball around where everywhere that they want to pass it. So we've got to make sure that we're disruptive. We got to make sure that we're elite at our on-ball screen defense. This is a team that reads really well, that moves really well. We got to be elite at the point of attack on on-ball screen defense. We always talk about guarding our yard, being able to guard one-on-one so we're not in rotation early. I think for us, it's going to have to start on the defensive end of the floor, so that allows us to get out and run in transition as well. But we can't allow them to just do exactly what they want to do on the offensive end.
Anyone else? Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
We're still building camaraderie, but this is a chance to take a step toward growth. The Fever's identity, built on pace, teamwork, and defensive intensity, seemed to vanish without Clark's orchestration. Opponents adjusted, focusing their defenses on Kelsey, Mitchell, and Boston, knowing they didn't have to worry about Clark's playmaking. But on this night, the Fever flipped the narrative. From the opening tip, they played with a fire that hadn't been seen in weeks. "Pressure is a privilege," White had preached, and her team embraced it. Kelsey Mitchell, thrust into the primary scoring role, was a revelation. She attacked the basket with relentless drives, forcing the Lynx to adjust their defense early. Her quick-release threes, hitting at an impressive 41% clip, kept Minnesota's defense honest. Mitchell's ability to create her own shot was a weapon the Lynx couldn't counter, and her 18 points set the tone for Indiana's balanced attack. Aliyah Boston, finally getting the touches she needed, dominated the paint. She finished with a double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists, while going toe-to-toe with Collier. Boston's positioning and footwork were impeccable, and her playmaking out of the post opened up opportunities for her teammates. "Everyone played their role," Boston said post-game.
Head coach Stephanie White has a motto. She says, "Pressure is a privilege." You came into the former champion's house and took them down on their home floor. How does it feel to bring Indiana their first championship?
It feels great. We knew that we had to come in here with energy. We know that they're a great team and they were going to go on runs. And so for us, it was about containing those runs and then going on our own.
What gave you the confidence to come in here and take down this team on their home floor?
We knew we were capable. God has equipped us. And so for us, about coming in here and doing what we know what to do. I think the entire game, coach just continued to instill that confidence, continue to tell us take it one possession at a time, and we did that.
The game plan was obviously to wall off the paint against you and Tosh, but both of you guys finished with double-doubles. How did you guys get freed up? And for you especially, how'd you get going late in this game?
It started with Tosh. Tosh, that entire first half and even that entire game, just really took it to them, made them have to guard. And so with her attacking from different angles, they had to space out a little bit. And that fourth quarter, I was able to score.
And finally, Aliyah, what are you going to do with your prize money?
That's for me to know.
Congratulations, lady.
Corrals it. Out to Cunningham in the corner. Got the three. Indiana on top. Howard. Finds it cutting McDonald. Easy deuce.
Beautiful read by Natasha Howard. And Aari McDonald, that opened up the three-point shot.
Howard to steal. Open floor in front of her. Got the lay. Indiana battling.
This crowd is quiet. Natasha Howard is a former Defensive Player of the Year, knows the ball is coming to Naphisa Collier, just gets that deflection, gets going in the open court, and it is all Indiana in terms of the momentum in this game right now. This building is quiet.
It was a team effort tonight, but with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists, your MVP is Natasha Howard.
Gives it up to Mitchell. Mitchell. Over to Cunningham, long range. Bottoms! Big time trifecta, Sophie Cunningham.
Post-game, we handled the fourth quarter with poise. Her ability to stay composed against one of the league's best bigs was a testament to her growth as a leader. Natasha Howard, however, stole the show. Earning Commissioner's Cup MVP honors, Howard delivered a masterclass: 16 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Her 8-for-8 performance from the free throw line showed nerves of steel, and her defense on Collier was game-changing. Howard's anticipation led to 5 Lynx turnovers, including a steal that sparked a fast break layup, silencing the Target Center crowd. Natasha was everywhere, White said. She attacked from all angles, forcing them to adjust, and her defense set the tone. Howard's versatility, switching on screens, protecting the rim, and running the floor, made her the X-factor Indiana needed. The bench was just as crucial. Sophie Cunningham brought the spark, dropping 13 points, including 3 momentum-shifting threes that erased an early deficit. Her energy was infectious, firing up the Fever faithful who made the trip to Minnesota. Lexi Hull, proving she belongs on this stage, added hustle plays and timely buckets, while new signing Aari McDonald made an immediate impact with 12 points, including a dagger 3 in the fourth. Aari's return was perfectly timed, White noted. She gave us the spark we needed. The Fever's rediscovered chemistry was evident in their crisp ball movement. 5 players scored in double figures, a stark contrast to their recent stagnant offense. Defensively, they were relentless, holding the Lynx to 34. 9% shooting and just 39 points over the final 3 quarters. When Minnesota mounted a fourth-quarter rally, cutting the lead to 7, the Fever didn't flinch. Boston answered with back-to-back buckets, and McDonald's pull-up jumper forced a Lynx timeout. Indiana's killer instinct shone through, closing out the 74-59 victory with authority. The post-game locker room was electric. Caitlin Clark, though unable to play, was the heart of the celebration. She had been a constant presence on the sidelines, cheering, offering pointers, and staying locked in on every possession. The WNBA's social media captured her intensity, showing her shouting encouragement and clapping after big plays. When the final buzzer sounded, Clark joined her teammates in the locker room where she delivered the quote that defined the night. "Everybody in the league is sick." Those 6 words cut through the noise, addressing the undercurrent of jealousy that had followed the Fever all season. Clark's meteoric rise had drawn both admiration and resentment, and her candid remark, delivered with a grin, called it out directly. She then grabbed the Commissioner's Cup trophy, playfully using it as a chalice and calling out rookie Michaela Timpson to join the fun, showing her leadership even from the bench. The basketball world was floored. ESPN scrambled to replace a pre-scheduled video titled "Lynx Dominate Fever," a humiliating misstep that underscored the upset's magnitude. Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve was gracious in defeat, saying, "They just sort of beat us," a nod to Indiana's superior execution. The Fever's win was more than a title. It was a declaration of their depth and resilience. Without Clark, Dantas, and Bonner, they proved their championship DNA runs deeper than any single player. This victory sets the stage for a thrilling 2025. With Clark's return looming, the Fever are poised to be a juggernaut. "We're tough mentally and physically," White said. This group pulls for each other, and tonight showed what we're capable of. The Fever's ability to win without their star makes them even more dangerous with her back. Kelsey Mitchell's emergence as a go-to scorer, Boston's dominance in the paint, Howard's versatility, and the bench's contributions signal a team ready to contend for more than just the Commissioner's Cup. This win was a triumph over adversity, doubters, and the weight of expectations. The Fever showed that heart and determination can overcome any obstacle, turning skeptics into believers. If you're a Fever fan, comment, "I've got the Fever," or like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay with this team's incredible journey. The Indiana Fever just showed the WNBA what happens when you count out a team with championship spirit. 2025 is theirs for the taking. Let's go, Fever.